Hey everybody, and welcome to a brand new installment of Nintendo News Report for Friday, June 12th, 2015. I'm your host, Alexander Kalafi, and today I am joined by returning co-host, Scott Thompson.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Scott. Why have you been away for so long?
I feel like I've just been busy, and I know we've switched the schedule around a few weeks now because different things have happened. We did one beginning of the week last week because we had that surprise direct and stuff like that. So it's just been a little difficult because Nintendo's been keeping us on our heels, but I'm here.
Okay, and I am also joined by Donald Terrio. Hello, Donald.
Hello. I really wish I was playing Splatoon before the show, but the post office didn't come through for me.
So we're all in three very different predicaments for Splatoon right now. I guess we'll talk about this first because we'll have to talk about it at some point. So, Donald wants to play Splatoon really bad, but he doesn't have it yet. I bought Splatoon despite everything I've said, but my Wii U broke the minute I turned it on to play Splatoon.
Oh. Well, broke how? What happened?
My gamepad, the D-pad was working, but the A button and the touch screen weren't.
Oh, wow.
And I just, yeah. What were you saying?
It'd be neat if you could play with the, any other controller.
Right, but I just brought my Wii U from home to my apartment, and I only brought the Wii U, the disc of Smash Bros. That was already in the console, my Amiibo, and I had bought Splatoon. So, I have the bare essentials, my Pro controllers at home.
Well, that's right. You can't play with the Pro controller anyway, so
yeah,
wouldn't have mattered. Wow.
You really can't?
No, just two-player mode.
Oh, wow. Oh,
so you're bound either way, yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess I should say the reason why I finally bought Splatoon is because I had $15 in Best Buy credit, and then Gamer Club Unlocked made it $48. So I paid $33 for it. I still broke way before I said I would, but $33 is a little more forgivable. That's only $13 away from $20.
Well, $33 strikes me as the price you basically would have set for you to get it anyway. You very much, I can hear you in my head saying, yeah, I'll wait till it's $30.
Yeah.
And there's already been 4 updates to the game, so the value of the game is only going up as your price for it was going down.
Right. So what came out was that splatter shot. Well, I have the name here. Splashomatic. And then they have a new map based on the single player. In addition to the content that's already come out in the last couple weeks, it's clear they're getting super aggressive with the content updates. I guess my mind, the inner child in me, fully connected that this was really the Animal Crossing team who made this game. So that made $20 as the barrier for entry to $30-ish dollars. And then I guess I cracked down. I really want to play it. So hopefully it's one of the best games this year. Scott, you have played Splatoon, and you've been saying some real interesting stuff about it. What have you been saying about Splatoon?
I feel disappointed because I'm just not enjoying it as much as I kind of hoped I would. Now, to be granted, I have to put more time into it, and I will when I have time to put into it. Because I think I'm level 5, maybe level 6. So I haven't unlocked any of the ranked match stuff, which I know that's where you get all the new game modes. But just to start, I don't know. I'm just not really feeling it. I don't really mind that leveling and unlocking new weapons and stuff is kind of slow. I mean, that's expected. I mean, I'm also right now playing Heroes of the Storm, Blizzard's MOBA, and unlocking stuff in that, unless you want to pay real money, also is excruciatingly slow. So that's fine. I don't mind kind of grinding away. And playing with friends is fun enough, but I just don't. The main mode, Turf War, I'm just not really into. To me, covering the floor in paint or in ink, is only really fun if you're using the roller. I find it kind of laborious if you use it with any other weapon. And I hear everyone talking shit for people who go and just try to kill other players. That's not the point, man. Just ink the floor. And it's I'm not playing a game where I'm just painting the floor. This is to me, this is supposed to be a competitive shooter. That's what I want to do. I want to compete against other people in that way. I don't want to just paint the floor. And I guess to also draw that analog to Heroes of the Storm, which I'm playing right now, I like that there's so many different characters that do different things, and they all fit into each map. Like each character has a role to play, and I feel like that's something that's kind of missing from at least just Turf War. Like I said, once I hit level 10 and I get the other game modes, maybe my impressions will improve. But like for this, it feels like really, yeah, all you need to do is ink the floor, and picking a weapon that isn't the roller is kind of just slows down that process, and it's just not as fun to me. I don't know.
I feel you. I guess that's one of the things I'm slightly, I don't want to say worried about, because, like, I have no expectations for this game whatsoever, really.
You just said it was going to be one of the best games of the year.
That's a hope. I have plenty of hopes, Scott. Expectations. Okay. I guess the only expectation I had before this was the content, and it seems like they're fixing that slowly but surely, which is nice. And then I guess I also expect the single player to be pretty good, at least the bosses, because Neil's been hyping that up real strong.
Yeah, everyone's been raving about those. Yeah, I haven't messed with that either, but I know everyone likes the single player, it seems.
I guess I do feel you, though, where, like, as someone who enjoys a shooter now and again, I guess my favorite part of a shooter is, I guess, a more traditional military shooter, hitting someone just right with a gun and then getting that plus 100 pop up over their head when they fall down. Now, Splatoon's a completely different game. It's a third-person shooter. It's Nintendo's own take, doing something that's never really been done before fully, which is what Nintendo does best. Maybe I'll feel differently, and I hope I can report back in a couple weeks and say that it is much better, and hopefully Donald will come on the positive side too. And you know what? I hope you'll be one of the more positive ones when you get some more time.
Yeah, I'm going to put more time into it. So I feel like my impressions might change once I hit level 10 and unlock the other modes. Have you set your gamepad off, like, for repair? Or what do you do?
So I kind of had to do a bit of a ghetto setup to send mine back, because I don't have many supplies in my apartment. So I kind of had to find something resembling a box. I had to put my gamepad and Wii U into a white trash bag tied. I had to use a piece of lined paper to write the order number down, and I had to pack it with like paper grocery bags from like Star Market, which is it might be local grocery chain. So it's hopefully Nintendo gets it. Hopefully it shows up.
Now, Alex, I know you're a little younger than me, so maybe the post office is just completely out of style, but you can go there and, like, buy a box for, like, $2 to $3.
I did do that. Well, I did attempt to do that. The problem was, at the UPS store, none of the boxes are the perfect dimensions for a Wii U and gamepad.
You know what it is? A garbage bag.
Why did you send the Wii U in, though? I thought it was just the gamepad that was having an issue.
That's an excellent question, Donald. The reason why I did that is because Nintendo told me to, and they said that although the problem might be with the gamepad, there's a chance it could be the TV's receiver, or not the TV, but like the Wii U's receiver.
Oh, okay.
So like it could be the way the Wii U's receiving it, which is something that happens like if you have like a TV remote whose batteries are like just about to die but aren't quite dead yet. You can notice how like some of the buttons work, but not all of them.
Sure.
Maybe it's that situation.
Yeah, my current TV actually had something like that happen to it, but yeah. But Nintendo's usually pretty fast with turning these around. I know when I had to send off my 3DS XL for a hinge issue first part of the year, and I had it back within 10 days. So you should have it probably by the time we do another regular show of this in a couple of weeks.
It should be. Yeah, it should be.
Was your Alex? Was your Wii U under like warranty or anything, or did you have to?
No, but you know what? It was only $99, which is not that terribly unreasonable compared to what I was expecting to pay. Because I know around launch it was around 200, 225 maybe, like from some old message board posts I looked up. But $99, especially if it's an issue with the gamepad and the Wii U, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Especially like if the gamepad was just busted, one of those by itself costs like $100. At least that's what it sounds like it would cost if they put it on sale.
Yeah.
So, you know what? If I get this back in the next week or so, just in time to play like Art Academy and whatever else comes out, that'll be a-okay with me. Anyways, we got news, so let's talk about some of that. A hot story that broke today. Amiibo reprints are happening, as first found by Amiibo News, and by the way, it surprises me and delights me to no end that Amiibo has become such a craze that there are successful news outlets now devoted to Amiibo.
Oh yeah?
Which is so cool.
I mean, I've probably only gotten a few of the rare Amiibo I have because of following Amiibo Twitter accounts. So like, okay, it's up on Amazon. You probably have 2 minutes. Order it now. You know, stuff like that. So it's amazing how immediately there was that need and immediately it was filled. That's capitalism, baby. That's the American dream. Thanks, Japan.
And then it was Nintendo's CSPIA listings. You know what, Donald? How about you take this one?
Okay, yeah. The CISPA report is basically the legal thing that Nintendo has to submit the toys to make any sort of toy to make sure that it's not going to cause like choking or have an excessive amount of lead in it. And they had originally had listings for all of the Amiibo. I think the only one I didn't see, the ones I didn't see on there were Shulk and the Fire Emblem crew. And then a bunch of them got updated with a date of June 3rd, and they all showed a new printing of the Amiibo last month. So we know these things are in production. What we don't know at this point is when we're going to start seeing those flow into stores, because we're talking things like Rosalina, Wii Fit Trainer, the Villager, and Captain Falcon, a lot of the really rare ones that were the so-called unicorns that were gone in a flash. Like even Ness and Charizard got reprinted. So those ones are going to come back into the wild here shortly. If I had to guess, I'd say we're probably going to see something of that on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's probably going to be something that like they'll put it like the 20% mark of their presentation, like after whatever game they open it with, but before like they get into the bulk of their presentation, which is exactly how Amiibo was revealed last year, like at that same post Smash Brothers section. So the thing I think about when I see this story is how I'm looking for a Villager Amiibo right now. Not like seriously, like I'm just sort of poking around on Amazon and eBay, seeing what's up. And because of the recent Villager and some such reprints there have been, which I'm sure you guys have heard about, Villager and a lot of other Amiibo, if you're okay with getting the Japanese version, which is perfectly fine with any copy of the game, and there's virtually no differences on the figure itself, it's about $30 to $35 right now, which is reasonable at least compared to where it used to be. I'm betting that after these reprints, there is going to be similar price levels for the Villager and Captain Falcon, like North American versions. It seems like Nintendo slowly grabbing their foothold and slowly understanding the correct way to treat Amiibo in the United States, especially in comparison to the rest of the world. And I guess North America for people like Donald.
Yeah.
But like it seems like they're getting a good grasp on this, and I bet in the next 2 years, the way the Skylanders and Disney Infinity sections look now is how Nintendo's Amiibo section is going to look.
Yeah. Toys R Us actually has a very good Amiibo section. I haven't really gone to Toys R Us very often. I usually, like, when I see Amiibo, I kind of just look at, like, Target and places like that, because we're usually out just shopping for a variety of things, not just toys for me, a grown adult. But we took my daughter to Toys R Us the other day to do some toy shopping. I happened to glance in there, and it's almost like a full aisle. Like, it almost is kind of like the Skylanders and Disney Infinity at this point, which is pretty cool. But I think what's helping this situation, too, is Nintendo's realized, okay, this is great. We don't have to manufacture any more Mario or Donkey Kong Amiibo, because those things you can fucking find anywhere. So now they have the resources to shift and, create these Amiibo that were rare to begin with because they didn't really anticipate the demand. So
I would say that, except one of the Amiibo that they reprinted is Pikachu, and I can't throw a rock around here without hitting a Pikachu.
That's true. Pikachu is also pretty common.
I know that my options for Amiibo are somewhat limited, thanks to the fact that there's been a couple of major retailers gone out of business in the last 6 months here. And I'm hoping the next one that they start reprinting is the Splatoon Squid, because I had a chance to get the 3-pack on day one. I didn't, and now I was hoping to do that so I wouldn't have to pay the full freight for 3 Amiibo, but I'm probably gonna end up doing it.
Yeah.
That and Shulk, who's never gonna get reprinted for some reason.
I still want Shulk too. Yeah, I don't have Shulk either. That's like the one I want that I haven't been able to get.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's going to be weird to see what happens with the store exclusive stuff. Like, if those just don't get reprinted, or if they become greater than store-wide, or if the stores like Toys R Us see like, oh, no, we do want more Grip Ninjas. Please make another printing.
Yeah, well, Rosalina's on that list, so I wonder, is she still going to be exclusive to Target?
Now, in Canada, because Rosalina was going to come out right as Target went bankrupt, she's not exclusive here. So I wonder if that might be part of it.
Yeah, maybe. How does Target go bankrupt in Canada, by the way? Where do you guys shop? Like, what do you do?
We do a lot at Walmart and smaller Canadian stores, and Target's selection up here was kind of crap.
Okay. That's interesting, because here, like in America, for the most part, I feel like Target is very much positioned as like the high-class Walmart. So to me, there's like a stigma with going to Walmart that just does not exist with going to Target, which is why Target is successful.
Yeah, like people of Walmart would never fly up here, and so
it's the Canadian population.
Yeah, and so when you have Target try to come in and be a higher class Walmart, it's like we don't really notice a difference. I do miss Target though, because I could get like 5% off eShop cards all the time, and there was one infamous incident where they actually marked eShop cards down 25%.
Oh wow.
So I loaded up that month.
You're still living off of those.
It ran out around the time of Rainbow Curse, I think.
Okay, not bad.
Not bad. Word. Hyrule Warriors 3DS. So, Koei Tecmo Japan, there was an unlisted video that people found the link to, it sounds like, that pretty much revealed a 3DS version of Hyrule Warriors for 3DS. Not a new 3DS exclusive, which was slightly surprising to me. It has the content of the previous game, but with Wind Waker content and a few other things. And it translates to Zelda Muso Hyrule All-Stars, which is so funny to me because it makes it sound like a Shonen Jump game to me a little bit. And then the video confirms Tetrin, the King of Red Lions, and then real-time character change in the vein of Samurai Warrior Chronicles, and then linking the 3DS version to the Wii U version will unlock the Wind Waker content in the Wii U version. No release date has been given, but it's probably going to be this year because of how fast the turnaround on these games are.
Yeah. The one thing I'm thinking Nintendo should have done with this, once it came out, they probably should have put it out today, because if a Zelda logo shows up in the digital event and it's just Hyrule Warriors 3D, there is exactly one person on this planet who will get excited, and it's me.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm kind of glad it came out now, because now we're prepared for that. Because can you imagine watching a digital event? Yeah, if you see like the Hylian shield, and then you see the Zelda logo, and you're like, oh my god, it's really here. We're going to see it, and then it's just fucking 3DS Hyrule Warriors. Oh my god.
It will make the reaction to Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze a couple years ago look tame. But yeah, I am kind of curious to see how this is going to play, especially on the new 3DS. I mean, I've got my roommate's box of Samurai Warriors Chronicles. I do want to see how these things play on the 3DS, because Hyrule Warriors it was ran pretty well, but if it kind of did have moments that it would chug, especially in multiplayer.
Right.
So if you're going to try to do that now, and especially if you can do things like switch characters on the fly, it's going to put a lot of stress on the system.
I think this is a good idea though, this game, because to me, I mean, I'm not really so much interested in playing Hyrule Warriors on my 3DS as I am in getting those Wind Waker characters. So to me, this almost just feels like a $40 DLC pack, which is a great way to charge a lot of money for just unlocking characters in the Wii U game. Like, yeah. I could literally see people buying it just to do that.
But I suspect we're going to get one more DLC pack then for the Wii U version, because I can't see Nintendo of America being so determined to sell copies of a 3DS game that they're going to lock the Wind Waker content out of it. And we'll probably see a Smash Brothers situation where if you buy the game, you'll get it free. Otherwise, $5 for the lot.
Maybe, yeah.
Yep. And then the other game that was revealed, though this one was intentional, Devil's Third, new details came out about that over on Nintendo, their Japanese YouTube account. And then not only did it really show off Devil's Third properly for the first time since last E3, but it gave it a release date of a couple months from now. So it's going to be coming out on August 4th, day before my birthday in Japan, which has no bearing on me whatsoever. And then in the UK, it's going to be August 28th. And then Gamefly, they've listed stuff that's been totally correct release date-wise and title-wise for Nintendo games before. They've leaked this kind of stuff before. And they're also saying August 28th for North America, which is probably correct, even though there's no proof to it.
Yeah, but the thing is with Nintendo, they've shifted their strategy. You only really have 4, maybe 5 days in a month to choose from because they always do their releases on Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
So if it is going to come out in August, Gamefly has a 1 in 4 shot of getting it right.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'm a little surprised that it was localized, not this quickly, but that they were so on top of the localization during its process that they didn't, tell us anything between last E3 and now, not even, really drop it much in a direct. I think it's interesting that they had, the terrorist footage to reveal this game, which was, weird and goofy. Donald, you have something to say?
I'm just recalling what my exact words were to Danny Bivens because I was trying to see if somebody could translate the video. What the bleep was that?
Thank you for censoring yourself, by the way.
Yeah, but that's Itagaki for you. I mean, he'll do whatever the heck he wants, and you just got to sit there and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's it. The game looks cool though. I kind of like the style. I hope it won't be $40, but I really wish it came out at $40 because that'd be the price that I'd probably bite at this as an impulse purchase.
Remember in the beginning of the show when I said I can just hear Alex saying Splatoon at $30, that's where I wanted. This is where that comes from. I love anytime you're on the fence about a game, there's always a price point that's gonna just push you over the edge.
Yep,
I love that.
I'm locked in at 45 for that game from a E3 pre-order last year, so I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay, cool. So I guess what I'm curious about, and we won't get too much into the E3 stuff now. That's going to be at the end of the show. But Devil's Third and this Zelda game, is this going to take up a total of 6 minutes of the digital event? Or do you think 1 or 2 of these are things that are saved for the press release and the Treehouse Live? Because I really hope that this stuff that came out isn't just going to be a chunk of the digital event that's going to be 45 minutes in itself. I mean, we don't know that. That's by the way, that's not confirmed. That's my guessing. It's going to be 45 minutes. I should say that.
Yeah, it's usually ballpark kind of what they are. The Hyrule Warriors will for sure be part of it because that was not supposed to be leaked. Devil's Third maybe not because that came out when it was supposed to. So maybe it's not going to be part of it. Maybe it will be just something they run during the Treehouse event just for anyone who didn't see it on the Japanese YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they'll have enough material to do a montage, but I could easily of the 2 games. I think Devil's Third's more likely the one that's either going to get a very limited amount of time or just get kicked out of the thing altogether.
It'll just be in a sizzle reel.
Or for all we know, it could be the game that they're going to show Monday with Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, when it was announced, it was its own separate thing. Remember that? It was right. It was its own separate little announcement. I think on IGN, right? Wasn't that
IGN had the exclusive on that one.
Yeah.
So, do we know Nintendo's actually revealing something new during that time period? Because I know for a fact they're showing up for a half hour.
Yeah, but we don't know. We just know that they're going to be there for a half hour. That's literally all that the press release that Jeff Keighley posted on NeoGAF of all places said would be there. It's the Nintendo Power half hour because I think it's just after the Microsoft press conference.
Yeah, and then, they also have that Platinum game that's getting revealed on Monday, too, which could very well be for a Nintendo system, though we don't know for sure.
I'm about 70-30 on it being something that Platinum is self-publishing, probably for PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? Platinum's awesome, so
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's my same approach to like Tembo the Badass Elephant. By the way, remember that game? That game is coming out soon. It's like, you know what? Game Freak's great, Platinum is great, as long as you're making great games. I guess I'd rather they appear on Nintendo systems, but as long as I get to play them, I'll be A-okay.
I'd rather that they sell decently because Platinum's 2 Wii U games have not necessarily done all that well.
Yeah, you know what? I think I really hope they have like a From Software moment one day, and they finally hit that like one idea that gets them all the sales they deserve. Because I think they deserve way more success.
For sure.
I don't like using the term underrated and overrated so much, but I think Platinum's kind of underrated, like in the grand market. Anyways, that's Devil's Third. NPDs. On more positive notes, Splatoon's doing so well. Not like Mario Kart numbers, but it got 5th place overall. So like, there were games like Minecraft, which I think still beat it, didn't it?
Yeah, Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto. I'm not sure if it was FIFA or NBA, and The Witcher, which did about
and Mortal Kombat X.
Mortal Kombat, that was the other one, yeah. But yeah, The Witcher did still, 7. Yeah, for a new IP on the Wii U.
Out for 3 days.
2.
2 days.
2 days in the reporting period.
And keep in mind, that doesn't include the 3 copies that the 3 of us bought. So June is already shaping up to be a big month for Splatoon as well.
It's sort of like what Mario Kart 8 actually did last year, because Mario Kart did decent in the May period when it was out for the same 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Wii U hardware didn't really bump all that much. And then June came, and then the sales went up month over month, and the Wii U, I think, had its best month outside of a holiday ever. Mm-hmm. So 42,000 Wii U's in May, from what we understand from the guy who sells pies for a living. It's disappointing, especially since that's what they did in April, but you kind of take what you get. And Splatoon charted, Smash Brothers charted again, and Amiibos were the best-selling accessories.
Mm-hmm.
So Nintendo had a very good month overall, except for the fact that the hardware just wasn't moving at all.
Yeah. You think that kind of plays into whatever their next hardware is going to be? The fact that games are selling, Amiibo are selling, hardware isn't selling. To me, that's a clear point that their hardware philosophy needs to definitely be examined.
Right now, the thing they need to examine is the price of the hardware, because it's just too damn high.
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah, right now the Wii U feels like it's not a legacy system, but the Wii U does remind me a bit of the Vita's situation now.
At least it gets first-party games.
Right, it gets the Vita. Don't get me wrong, is one of the most depressing stories of the last generation, if not the single most depressing, because of how much potential it had in a quality scale in the first 2 years of its life that Sony completely gave up on. And is now fully supported by Japanese developers and Western smaller publishers.
Yeah, because they both get one. They have one. Both the Wii U and the Vita. They have one main source of software. For the Wii U, it's Nintendo, and for the Vita, it's the localizers, as we call them.
Yeah.
And then they get the indies, and after that, it's crickets. But there's plenty of Wii U games and Vita games that I'm looking to pre-order in the next week or so. So,
to me, though, it's like a tale. It's like 2 different stories, though, because to me, the Vita hardware is incredible. I love holding and playing a Vita. Just looking at the screen is fantastic, and it's hard to go back to a 3DS after playing the Vita for an extended period of time. But there's just the software has never really been there for me, with a few exceptions. Unless Alex, you love the Japanese stuff, so it's great for you. And for indies, it's good, but it just hasn't really had those major titles it needed. Whereas to me, the Wii U, fantastic software, but the hardware is just kind of, it's okay. It leaves a lot to be desired.
It's almost there. I think whatever they're trying to do here, they're going to perfect in the NX.
I hope so.
That's what I think they're going to do.
And it's just simple stuff, too. Like boot up Netflix on your PS4 and Netflix on your Wii U at the same time, and you could probably watch a whole movie on the PS4 before the Wii U Netflix is loaded. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess the comparison I was more going to make was that even though the hardware isn't selling that well, the attach rate on both the Vita and Wii U is really damn good. If you buy a Wii U, there's a good chance statistically that you're going to buy a lot of games for that Wii U, even if not that many people are buying a Wii U along with you.
Yeah, I wonder if if Nintendo thinks they can maintain that with a lower price system, they may be willing to take a more drastic price cut than you would normally expect, just because they can make all that up in software. Because if they can assume that, okay, if we sell the system at 200, which let's face it, they do with their online store, then we're probably going to buy Smash Brothers. You're probably going to buy Mario Kart, and you could potentially buy Splatoon and a lot of Amiibo with that, and all of a sudden the Wii U becomes profitable even if they're selling it at a hardware loss.
Yeah. And I would, like you said, Alex, I would almost think at this point the bigger success is selling like new IPs like Splatoon to the majority of Wii U owners versus like selling a bunch of hardware. I mean, of course they would want to do that, but I still think they would look at these NPD numbers and this would be a success. I mean, that's great for Splatoon because it's iffy to launch a new IP like this, and it's such a new direction for Nintendo. And despite what qualms I have with it, I still recognize that it's a quality game and polished, even if it is lacking content right now. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a success. That's really good. It's impressive.
And then estimates have it at 135,000 copies. Is that, Donald, did you find that on like NeoGAF from the guy who always comes up with this stuff?
Yeah, from our friendly neighborhood pie salesman. And the other thing for Nintendo that's going to be really good is that looking at like the all-time sales charts, Splatoon is comparing favorably with things that have sold a lot like Shovel Knight and all of the Humble Nindy bundle games. So it's doing very well digitally. I don't know if the test fire and all the incentives for preloading had something to do with that. But I mean, the best case scenario, they did about 83,000 digitally. That's quite frankly an insane percentage for a Nintendo console on digital full price game sales.
I agree. Our final story, and this one's not even a story. This is just something for me. Before we move into E3, is that Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. Just a quick check-in. Mega Evolutions are confirmed. They're bringing back quizzes for you and your partner Pokemon. And then, since all the Pokemon are confirmed, like including Hoopa, if that wasn't confirmed before, Hoopa's going to be in the game, which is real good. This looks like it's going to be the ultimate Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. Hopefully they get the story in check. Hopefully they improve the gameplay, and maybe they make it a little harder, bring back some of the systems they took out. This game could be effing incredible. That's all. That was what, 45 seconds? That's all it needed.
I'll allow it.
Okay. Thanks, Scott. And okay, now here's the cool part of the show, where hopefully we stay positive. How we feel about E3 going in. This is just because, by the way, I'm going to say this again at the very end of the show, but we are going to be doing a Nintendo News Report on Tuesday, soon after the conference. It won't start any later than 1:30 Eastern. It's probably going to start like as soon as the press release comes out, and we can get a good picture of what games are coming out that weren't revealed in the digital event. But there will be a Nintendo News Report on Tuesday, shortly following the presentation, and there will be a ton of other great stuff I'll tell you more about at the end of the show. But this is more about how we feel about E3 going in. I just want to circle around a little bit, because I've been thinking about this a lot today. And we got, here's just a list of games that I know are coming out between now and the end of the year. This is not a complete list. This is just off the top of my head shortly before starting the show. Art Academy, Devil's Third, Mario Maker, Xenoblade Chronicle X, Yoshi's Woolly World, Star Fox, Fire Emblem vs. Shin Megami Tensei, Project Garden Giant Robot, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, Hyrule Warriors 3DS, maybe one or two others I'm forgetting, and then I guess what I'm thinking is we got all these games and then a Nintendo Digital event that's probably going to take 45 minutes. The thing I'm most worried about right now is how much room is there going to be for new game reveals, especially since Bill Trinan is talking big game, like how he's saying that it's only games coming in 2015 and early 2016. Do you guys think this is just going to be a year of mostly games that we already know about, or do you think there will still be plenty of surprises like there were last year?
I think there's still room for some surprises, but I think they're going to be the early 2016 part of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can see there may be one game that comes out later this year that gets revealed on Tuesday, probably some sort of Animal Crossing for Wii U or probably a Metroid, one of the two. But because what I'm sort of taking this to mean is that we're going to go from now until next E3, and so that would cover off. So if they have 2 or 3 full games for early 2016 for the Wii U in this video, they're probably going to be things we don't know about.
With the exception of Pokken Fighters, by the way. Like
Yeah.
that could, yeah.
Because we know that's coming, we just don't know when it's coming, and if they're going to choose to reveal it now or they're going to wait a couple of months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Donald. Like I absolutely agree with that. And I mean, we know too that Retro is going to have something to show in some capacity. I mean, just the way they've been tweeting and everything like that. So Retro's got something coming that we don't know about. Now, I gotta think that's going to be something that comes out early 2016. I don't know if that's like Metroid or something, but they're going to have a presence there.
Or that Diddy Kong Racing 2.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd take that.
And the positive thing about this Retro thing, and it seems it's like 80% sure they're going to be there. They haven't actually confirmed it, I don't think, but they're probably going to be there. So the thing that's good and it is on their side, in Retro's case, that it's going to be something we totally have not seen before, is that I'm pretty much 100% positive that whatever they're working on right now that we don't know about, they've been working on since before Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze came out. Slightly before, like I think that December or something they started it, but it's been in development for at least a couple years. Which means that if they were working on Star Fox, which I keep as a possibility in the back of my head, that's probably not the only thing they're working on, and there's probably something we have definitely not seen before, which I'm just thinking about. The other thing is, I'm looking at this list of games, and if you take away the excitement of E3 and the way things are supposed to be, this is a good lineup for the rest of the year, even if this was the only stuff that came out. But I can't help but have this feeling that there's like one game that we need to tie it all together. Like there has to be like one centerpiece of it all. Because it seems like we have a lot of like B-, C+ range games here, but no A to fill the November slot confidently.
No game you would pay $60 for.
Well, because we've also got I think we've also got Fatal Frame this year. And,
yeah.
And well, there's a couple of things coming from third parties that I know I'm going to be looking for next week in the form of Mighty Number 9 and Rodea, the Sky Soldier. But I think what we would hope for is that they've got 2 things for November. One that can move systems, and one that's going to basically satisfy the really, really hardcore Nintendo fans who probably are watching this right now. So that's why I still hold out hope that like we have a double shot of Animal Crossing Metroid for November.
You know what they can do too is like I know everything is supposed to be 2015, 2016, but I mean last year Zelda was supposed to be out this year, and now that's not happening. I mean they can easily reveal something big and exciting and say it's coming 2016 and maybe it doesn't, but just they need that big surprise announcement to generate a lot of buzz and to keep people talking about Nintendo after the press conference, you know, and keep people carrying over into Treehouse Live, and maybe that gets talked about more, or they discuss whatever is revealed a little bit more. Maybe we see more of it, but there's got to be that big surprise announcement. There has to be.
Yeah, like something that's coming this year too. You know what? Yes, they should have something that's coming down the line too, but I think whether it be Animal Crossing, Metroid, or something else, I'm thinking Paper Mario might be a decent third choice that would like fit in for this holiday slot. they need that big like centerpiece, like you're saying also, Scott. Like they need something to get everyone excited that we have not seen before. I hope they realize that. I hope Ryu in Smash Bros. Wasn't supposed to be it, because we already know that. It's, you know what? I'm trying to stay positive. Like, I'm trying not to get too negative, even though this is a slightly negative slant to the pre-E3 hype. But I do think there's, like, one game we need. Like, I think there's, like, one game that needs to tie everything together. If it's just this, a couple smaller games, and that one big game, I'll totally be fine with this E3. I just need, like, 3 games I haven't heard of before.
So, do we think it could be something new? Because if you told me last year going into E3 that their big event was going to be or their big reveal game was going to be a third-person shooter where you shoot ink at to turn into squids, I would have thought you were insane.
Yeah.
I don't think they're ready for a new IP yet. I think you just launched Splatoon. I think it's got to be a Nintendo mainstay. I can't anticipate a brand new developed from the ground up IP this soon after pouring everything into Splatoon.
Yeah, but
and maintaining Splatoon now for at least throughout the rest of this year. So.
But yeah, I really, because what I want Retro to be doing, if they're not like, I want them to be doing, if the best case scenario, they're doing something completely new, and probably in the genre that is sort of underrepresented on Nintendo platforms, whether that's like their take on an open world game or like a Western style RPG as opposed to sort of compare and contrast with Xenoblade X.
What if it was an F-Zero game? Like what if they really are giving F-Zero another shot?
That would essentially be a new IP at this point, so that would be fine too.
I want F-Zero like Burnout. Like I want sort of an open world that you're driving around, and then but also the separate sort of race circuits and stuff. But I would love if you're just cruising around as Captain Falcon, throughout Mute City and stuff like that. Like that would be awesome.
Yeah, I don't think there can be a new F-Zero game without it being part brawler. I think that has to be the next F-Zero game if they're gonna give it the proper relaunch it deserves.
God, now we're getting into like Star Fox Adventures territories.
Star Fox cross Metroid.
What if that rumor just ended up being true and that's what's at E3?
It'd be 2 years late, but sure, why not?
And it was 100% accurate. Like it's story driven and oh boy, furry and waifu fans everywhere. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. So there's all that. Hopefully it's beautiful.
It will be. I think they've learned from the E3 where the Wii U was revealed, and they well, I guess not revealed. I think it was the next E3 with that huge spotlight on God, and I can't even
Nintendo Land.
Nintendo Land.
Their one more thing was fireworks.
Right. Like that bombed so hard, and I think they know now that can't happen. They can't do that.
That bombed so hard they will never do another press conference. I hope every press conference this year ends with Nintendo Land fireworks.
Well, you're right. I think that's why they were like, okay, you know what? No, Nintendo Direct format. Like, this is what we need to do. Everything needs to be pre-recorded, and we have to be able to rely on what's going to be there. Because wasn't that famously the problem? Wasn't there supposed to be... What was it that was supposed to be featured that then ended up not being there? You guys remember? It wasn't like there. It wasn't retro because it wasn't Donkey Kong.
Are you talking Zelda?
No, I can't remember. But there was supposed to. I think there was supposed to be something in that slot, and then it kind of fell apart. So then they had to kind of do the extended look at Nintendo Land to fill the time, and then that was bad.
Yeah, and then just lastly before we move on and close this off, I'm also thinking about Pokemon a little bit. As I often am, and I'm thinking about the 3DS, and I'm looking at Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Happy Home Designer, and Hyrule Warriors, all of which are going to be on the 3DS later this year. Now, because the 3DS is so late in its life, or at least getting to that point, they probably could get away with this being the only lineup they have for the 3DS, and there's probably one I'm forgetting.
Chibi Robo.
Chibi Robo is also in there. Thank you. I feel like we're going to see a new Pokemon game this year. I still think there's a chance of that. And if not, I think we're going to see something that at the very least calls attention to Pokemon's anniversary next year.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with the idea that the first part of 2016 is going to be chock-a-block with RPGs on the 3DS between Fire Emblem, Pokemon, and Bravely Second.
Do you really think Fire Emblem launches 2 months before Bravely Second, or vice versa? Or do you think one of them's going to be summer, one's going to be early?
The way they're talking about Bravely Second, they seem to be aiming it toward the summer. So it could go Fire Emblem, like, they haven't had a January release in years, so I can't really say that, but early February. Because Pokemon's date is locked in at February 27th. Since that's the 20th anniversary of Red and Green in Japan.
Yeah.
And then give those a couple of months to breathe, and then come in with Bravely Second, probably in the Puzzle and Dragon slot.
Okay.
Yeah, I see that happening. I mean, to me, the best 3 or 4 month span in the 3DS life cycle was when Luigi's Mansion, Fire Emblem, and then Etrian Odyssey all came out within a few months of each other.
And Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Gates to Infinity.
Okay, there you go. Sure. Throw it in there. But, that was 3 huge games released within, probably a 3 or 4 month span. And especially Etrian Odyssey and Fire Emblem. I mean, those are two series that at least are similar in some ways.
Actually, I think it was the Fire Emblem was in February, and then Etrian was the end of February, and Luigi's Mansion was end of March.
Yeah, there you go.
But my favorite little bit of fantasy booking for the 3DS is that New Super Mario Brothers 2 should probably be coming out now, and they should have thought of something different to launch the 3DS XL with.
Yeah, I'm. It's weird that you're saying that, because I've been thinking in the last couple weeks or so, I could really go for a good new Super Mario Bros. Game right now. Like a well-made new Super Mario Bros.
Yeah, if what we got as New Super Mario 2 came out as New Super Wario, and maybe they had a 2D Metroid to go with it that really took advantage of the larger screen of the XL, and then they had a ground-up new Super Mario right now, this conversation is completely different.
Well,
okay. Well, how about if there's Super Mario Sunshine Remake or Super Mario Sunshine 2 released as a new 3DS exclusive?
I think that's probably more real than you think. I feel it.
Because apparently there's still supposed to be a remaster this year. We still don't know what it is. At this point, I wonder if they scrapped it.
Yeah. Yeah, but they also said they would be doing more for Mario's 30th anniversary that we have not heard about yet.
Super Mario 64 3D.
Oh, boy.
And this time you actually have an analog to use it with.
If with the analog, it actually wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be. I don't mind all the changes and the extra characters and stuff. It's fine.
Sure. Well, this is getting a little long, so I will cut it off now. But excellent talk. Moving to the end of this show, we should talk a little bit about E3. That's how it's going to be going on next week. Just a little preview. I mean, if you're watching this right now, you probably know what's going on at E3 as well as we do. But just to go over it a little bit. So on Sunday, 7:40 a.m. Pacific time, we got the Smash content update, which is going to take about, it's supposed to start 20 minutes before Lucas comes out, and it's going to go over the new content. And my guess is probably our last prediction thing of the show, but my guess is that there isn't going to be any new character reveals, but they're going to say look forward to the digital event on Tuesday.
I could see them possibly launching Roy here, because an old character returning, okay, that's cool. They'll probably announce him to come out maybe with the eShop update on Thursday, or whatever they're doing after the digital event. But they'll probably drop the other hammer in the event itself, which is Riot.
Yeah, right. You don't reveal that on a Sunday morning leading into E3. Now that gets dropped right in the middle of E3.
Right. Yeah, and then we got the World Championship pregame show, 2:35, 5:35 Eastern. Championships 3, 6 to 6:30, 9:30 Eastern. Tuesday, well, Monday we got they're going to be on Jeff Keighley's show. We'll see if they got anything new there.
And there is going to be some content coming out that is embargoed that's going to go live on Monday.
Right. Also, just temper your expectations. That's all. Tuesday, digital event, 9 a.m., 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Treehouse Live immediately following. Treehouse Live on Wednesday. Mario Maker Best Buy on Wednesday and Saturday. That'll be happening. Donald, you'll be doing that.
I'm hoping to be the first person to play Mario Maker outside of the Pacific time zone.
Excellent. And then Thursday, Treehouse Live starting from 9:55 a.m. That's E3. And then also Nintendo World Report. The best time to be on Nintendo World Report as not only someone making the content, but also someone enjoying the content, is during E3. There's going to be like 5 or 6 podcasts between the people at the show and at home, including Nintendo News Report on Tuesday, shortly following the digital event presentation, of which Donald and myself will be on, as well as 2 other very special guests, which is very special, especially if you enjoy the other podcasts on Nintendo World Report. The people at the show are going to have tons of previews. The people at home are going to be doing lots of great previews as well, like saying doing the everything we know about X, Y, and Z. It's going to be an amazing time. Be sure to come to Nintendo World Report next week.
And we actually look good on a smartphone now.
Yeah, we got a mobile site. Check out Nintendo World Report. It's actually, I think you can just go to NintendoWorldReport.com and it'll be on the mobile one automatically if you go on your phone. It actually, it looks real good. I was very impressed with it.
Right, so if you can't, watch E3 while you're at work, just dip into the bathroom every 10 minutes and refresh Nintendo World Report's website, and you'll get all the latest news there. That's all you need.
Absolutely.
I've taken 4 days. I took 4 days off for E3. By the end of it, my wrists are going to be dead from all the writing I'm doing.
As long as that's why they're dead.
And that's our show for this week, everybody. Thank you for watching. So we haven't kept a normal schedule for the last few weeks, but I'm thinking as soon as E3 ends, we're going to get something a little more consistent going every Thursday. Probably 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Pacific is going to be the new time following E3. Look forward to our post-digital event, Nintendo News Report, shortly following the presentation. You can find Scott on Twitter at OKSoda, OK the word soda. You can find Donald Terrio on Twitter at DonaldMick, DonaldMick. There you go. And then you can find me at Kulafia at CULAFIA, last name, first initial, first name. See you all next week, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Winda.